Today we're firing up hot and fast Cajun pork ribs. These are baby back ribs that I've smoked and they're so juicy. Let me show you how we make them. You start off with the baby back ribs. I do prefer to remove the membrane and then season very generously with your favorite Cajun rub. I've got my own recipe, which I'm sharing, of course, and make sure that you season all sides of those ribs. They need to sit for about 15 minutes at least, or you could prepare these the night before. No binder is necessary with this process. Get your smoker started at 300 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and put these in. Remember, this is a hot and fast recipe, so it will be a little bit of a higher temperature than you might be used to, but trust me, the results speak for themselves. While those are smoking, let's go ahead and make the mop sauce. This is what makes this recipe a little different. You're going to use butter, Louisiana hot sauce, a little Worcestershire, and some thyme, and we're just going to melt that and whisk it together. And then after the first hour, we'll apply a light mop to the top of the ribs. It's important that you're gentle so that you don't break the bark. This is an additional layer of flavor, but it also keeps them really nice and moist because we are cooking at a higher heat. After we apply the mop sauce, we're going to let those cook for another 30 minutes for a total of 90 minutes to let that bark form. And once it looks nice and crispy like this and the rub's not peeling off, set it on 2 sheets of aluminum foil. I'm using heavy duty. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of that mop sauce on both sides of the ribs, underneath and on the bone side. And we're going to wrap those with the meat side down. And I know that this sounds a little different, but with hot and fast, we really just want to braise these to make them tender. I promise at the very end, we'll reconstitute that bark by opening up. This just really helps make them nice and juicy and tender. So we'll go ahead and wrap that very tight with those 2 layers of foil and then get that back in the smoker for another 45 minutes. So 90 minutes for the first smoke, 45 minutes wrapped in foil. And this is going to go ahead and tenderize everything. After the 45 minutes, carefully open up the foil and flip up the ribs, meat side up. Let them smoke for another 15 to 20 minutes. This helps to rebuild the bark. I told you. When you're ready, go ahead and rest the ribs and slice. I like to slice meat side down. That way you can see clearly where you're going in between the bones. You could go ahead and serve them right away. You can tell that they're really nice and juicy. It's still got a great bark. That higher heat really crisps up the outside and leaves the inside nice and juicy. Wrapping them makes them nice and tender when you're slicing, and the mop sauce just adds so much flavor. Check out the full recipe on chilesandsmoke.com and let me know if you try it. Cheers.